Good morning, everybody. Just wait a few minutes, let everybody come aboard. We've got the active chat. So as you come aboard, if you take a moment, just let us know where you're from and who you are. That would be great. Say hi to everyone. There's Amy saying hello to everyone this morning. I always love seeing where people come from. All right, good to see people coming in from across the United States. You can see we've got Florida, Dallas, Philadelphia, Boise, Idaho, Louisiana. Very cool. Okay, so I think people are getting on board. So let's get things started. Again, just want to thank everybody for joining today. I'm pretty sure you have other Zoom calls that you could be on in this new world. I also sincerely want to thank you all for continuing the work last year. It was very difficult not having the ability to meet in person. Last year we celebrated our 10-year anniversary at STEMconnector, and I feel that STEMconnector is in the strongest position that we've ever been in terms of being able to deliver high quality programming to our members. Now today, Ted, Amy, Cindy, and CW will take you through the various webinars, research, ebooks, and events that we've got planned for this year. Yes, you heard that right. We are planning on returning to live events this year. The first event on the schedule, the first live event on our schedule, is the annual summit planned for May of this year in Washington, DC. We are also planning on the return of the live innovation labs this year. Now, safety is our top concern, and if we need to adjust this, we will. But at this point, we are looking forward to returning to live programming. This year, we're thrilled to welcome Dr. Zyka as our head of research, and you will also see several new faces throughout our organization. Now, despite the pandemic, STEM-related programs continued last year, and we worked with a number of you to deliver programs throughout 2021 that actually felt that they were more significant than ever before. In two separate programs, we presented female scientists from NASA and OLE to students from K through 12. And many of the students and teachers told us afterwards that these events were extremely well received and very impactful in such a difficult year. With Walmart, we worked on a really exciting program connecting data science students at Florida International University with professionals from Walmart, focusing on the challenges of drone delivery. One of the Walmart team had previously worked at CERN on the discovery of the Higgs boson particle. How exciting was that? Now, as we enter 2022, we are continuing to work on programming with our members. And we are also starting to use our new Atlas platform to help us deliver programs. We will be releasing Atlas Jobs at the end of March, and we have a short demo planned for later today. Now, with that, I would like to turn you over to Ted Wells.
Hello, and welcome. Thanks so much for joining us today. And thank you, Joe, for introducing, getting us started off. So my name is Ted Wells. I'm Vice President of Client Engagement at STEMconnector. It's an honor speaking with you today, as always. And unfortunately, my colleague Amy Etten is very much with us in spirit, but is not feeling her best right now. So is going to be sitting on the sideline. So coming out of the gate in 2022, I'm really excited for this year. Over the last 10 years, I've been fortunate enough to see STEMconnector and our community at large grow and adapt to a changing landscape. While the last couple of years have thrown us some curveballs that perhaps our friends in the infectious disease world would have warned us about, it was not something we planned on dealing with. As Joe just said, we've all been adapting and adjusting to this external force. And I'm confident that as a result, at the end, we're going to be more adaptable, more resilient, and ultimately more effective in our practice. So what makes 2022 stand out to me at STEMconnector? I believe that we have the people and systems in place to support the needs of our members better than ever, quite simple. So you're going to hear from my colleagues shortly, but I'm excited to share the work that they're doing with you at a high level and how our client engagement team can support and leverage the investment you have made in STEMconnector membership. To describe what we do in client engagement, Amy and I often think of an analogy of going to the gym, but with a personal trainer every time. While we may not bench 300 pounds or run 5-minute miles, our team is well equipped to support your engagement with the resources that you're going to hear about today. So, as you think about how to leverage us, your client engagement team, here are some ways that you might engage. First, just connect directly with us. You can email us, you can do check-in calls, you can ask us for specific connections, introductions to partners that can support and inform your work. Second, leverage our team to support your work, our extended team. We have a tremendous marketing team you're going to hear from shortly, and we're here to help you showcase the work you're doing. For many folks who are members of the STEMconnector network, marketing is not their primary focus area. We are here to support you and to make you look amazing, and also to spread the great work that you're doing so that others might learn from your experience. For individuals for whom this is a strength, we can bolster those efforts and take them to the next level with our ability to leverage your messages. Opportunities that we can offer include inclusion in our daily newsletter, the STEM Daily, or the Million Women Mentors monthly newsletter, collaboration or amplification on our social media channels, development of custom blog content with our content team, speaking opportunities at events, and inclusion in our ebooks. So finally, you'll be hearing from our new head of research, whose name, Dr. Cindy Zeiker, whose name may be familiar to some of you. And Cindy and her colleagues will be looking to our members to help inform their research throughout the year. So, as I think back on where so many great partnerships and collaborations have emerged, I truly believe that the events and convenings that we host and have hosted in the past, particularly those that are carefully designed and implemented, just provide unique opportunities for engagement. This has been the biggest challenge as a community during COVID. So as we look to 2022 with the news that the Omicron wave may be peaking, as we saw in the news this morning, we can take some solace that perhaps we're moving in the direction of returning to in-person events. So the asterisk at the top of the slide right now, as we look at this, the number of cases rising might seem quite ominous and indelible, but we think that we might be seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. So with that in mind, I encourage you to start planning for our upcoming events. While typically during this webinar, we would have all the dates, we would have had the months ago. We've held off on making concrete plans at this particular moment, but we'll be communicating exact dates soon. So at the last STEMconnector Summit in 2019, we had nearly 350 participants, heard from incredible speakers and attendees, were able to network at a lovely reception the evening before at the National Geographic Society in Washington, D.C. We are hoping to be able to host you again in D.C. in early to mid-May. At this event, you'll be able to connect with our network, learn about our forthcoming STEM strategy toolkit, and learn from leaders from industry, education, and policymakers. So stay tuned for that. Our Innovation Lab series, as many of you know, offers a more intimate and interactive experience in the summit and features content that is more aligned with specific topics. These events enable networking, will typically include a site visit to an institution in the region, and will offer opportunities to contribute to the work that our research team is doing, as well as learn from experts in the field. So the last one we had was in Houston. We went to Johnson Space Center and we're at BP, a very great event. Our first event this year is going to focus on post-secondary STEM, our first Innovation Lab, STEM outcomes for students and employers, and will be taking place in the first half of the year, we're hoping. It will be hosted by our longtime partners at Florida International University in Miami, FIU, so stay tuned. Our second innovation lab will engage members with connections to our partner BioMade, and will examine how to support the advanced manufacturing workforce broadly, with a focus on the bioindustrial manufacturing space, non-medical. This event will be held in early June in the San Francisco Bay Area. And finally, usually our most popular innovation lab is our K-12 innovation lab that will focus on issues on how industries can support and advance systemic STEM equity as the digital divide continues to widen. This event is scheduled to take place in Los Angeles in collaboration with some of our partners there. So I encourage you to consider participating in these events. And then finally, something that was a big success last year is our virtual webinar series that focuses on issues of interest to our membership. These offer members an opportunity to hear from others, for speakers, an opportunity to present an issue that is aligned with their work, and also provide an opportunity to invite new people from your network to be a part of the STEMconnector community, because these are open events. As you can see from this slide, we have a very full calendar of events. We will be reaching out the client engagement team, and we'll be discussing ways that we can work with you and engaging you in these events throughout the year. So stay tuned. We look forward to a big year. So finally, in 2022, you'll hear about some new opportunities during this webinar for engagement that we think have the potential to build new connections for you and for you to be able to access new resources. First, you're going to hear about the Atlas platform. We have a tremendously talented team of developers who have been talking to our members about the challenges they face, connecting as a community, helping students and educators build connections to employers and employment opportunities, and facilitating custom engagements on our Atlas Connector platform. What I like about this Atlas is that it was developed with the end users in the driver's seat, and I just can't wait to see it deployed in its various formats this year. We are here to help you engage with Atlas, so let us know if you have any questions. Finally, we have a focus on tapping into grants that can enable us to dive deeper into areas of shared concern across our network, facilitate stronger connections between industry and education, and develop solutions that advance equity and access to STEM education and employment. We are happy to discuss this work with you and how it might align with your efforts. So that's what's new in the client engagement world in 2022. You're going to hear about some of these items I mentioned in greater detail, as well as you're going to now hear from our head of research, a longtime STEMconnector partner, Dr. Cindy Zeiker, to share what is on deck for research this year. So Cindy, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks so much, Ted. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. I'm Cindy Zeiker, the new head of research for STEMconnector and a former member of STEMconnector. I'm also a STEM education research fellow at Cal State Monterey Bay, which is a minority-serving institution. I am part of STEMconnector's research team, along with research assistant Jessica Johnson, who I hope you will engage with this year at future events. We will be engaging members of both STEMconnector and Million Women Mentors in several research activities this year, and we are looking forward to learning from your insights and perspectives. Next slide. To kick off the 2022 new year with the National Mentoring Month, which is ongoing now in January, we will host a presentation of our Workplace Mentoring in STEM, a guide to formal mentoring programs publication. This guide highlights the value of mentoring, which can be revealed in improved employee retention rates, increased employee engagement, and new opportunities for upskilling, professional development, and knowledge sharing. Following the presentation of this guide, we will talk with a panel of experts who contributed to this publication and learn about their experiences in implementing workplace mentoring programs. We hope you will join us for this exciting event on January 26th. In March, we plan to release a research brief focused on partnerships between industry, nonprofits, and minority-serving institutions. These partnerships may include workplace mentoring opportunities, internships, job shadowing, or curriculum development support in order to align curriculum to industry needs. One unique partnership that STEMconnector engaged with last year was Project Elevate, as Joe just mentioned, with Florida International University and Walmart, which connected students in introductory data science courses with Walmart advisors. As a pilot, Project Elevate revealed that Walmart advisors working closely with post-secondary students and faculty is an effective strategy for providing industry-related experiences that allow students to gain insights into data science careers with the help of working professionals. This is just one example of how partnerships with minority-serving institutions can better prepare students to enter the workforce while helping companies cut costs on retraining and upskilling their new employees. Next slide, please. In May, we will be releasing our State of STEM 2022 report that builds on our prior work in identifying gaps in the talent pipeline. This updated report will include actionable tools for addressing challenges affecting women, minorities, and businesses across the country that have had exacerbating challenges due to COVID-19, political shifts, and social justice issues. Next slide, please. And in August, we will follow up our State of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion document with an evidence-based brief on this important topic. We hope you'll help us contribute to this document with your insights. And next, in the fall, we will explore the landscape of innovation in educational technology in relation to equity. With advancements in virtual reality and immersive learning in both the classroom and in business, we plan to share what is working and what isn't in this rapidly advancing field. These are just a few of the highlights that we wanted to tell you about today. We hope you will reach out to us in regard to your research interests, and we'll be reaching out to you as experts in order to invite you to participate in our research agenda. And many thanks for your attention. I will now turn it over to Chris Warwick to talk about marketing. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here today and talk to you about all the things we have going on in marketing and operations at STEMconnector. And I also have the privilege of talking to you about what's going to happen with MWM in 2022. So we have a lot of exciting things planned for that as well. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. In 2021, we really focused on building out our marketing and brand amplification capabilities and building a robust social media presence and leveraging the presence not only to amplify our brand, but also the brand of our partners. And so you can see a few examples here on the screen, but really this year, I hope you reach out to your client services representative, have a conversation about what brand amplification opportunities you're really interested in pursuing, and take advantage of these channels and opportunities we're going to talk about for a few minutes today. So moving on, next slide. One of the things I really wanted to talk about was the STEMconnector ebook series. So last year we launched the STEMconnector ebook series, and we just were really pleased with the success of this initiative. We really do believe that the future is STEM. And this project is really focused on informing, inspiring, and engaging the next generation of STEM talent. So they're focused on bringing the importance of STEM to light in different industries and sectors in a way that communicates STEM pathways are truly available and attainable by all people. So these projects, and the reason I wanted to talk about them a little bit today in a little bit more detail, is they are wonderful opportunities for collaboration and sponsorship for you, ways to amplify your brand, ways to position your organizations as STEM companies and STEM employers of choice. So I'm going to spend a few minutes today going into a little bit more detail about this program so you can understand what the opportunities are. So we're excited to announce our lineup for 2022. So you can see on the slide here some of the topics that are on our calendar to deliver. So nuclear technology, nuclear science will be our first project that we're going to release in the first quarter of this year, followed by a piece that we're going to be doing on environmental conservation just in time for Earth Day. So that's another tremendous opportunity for all of our partners to jump in on that one. And then we will follow those with one on semiconductors, a piece on construction, a piece on transportation and logistics, and then finally biomanufacturing at the end of the year. So we're super excited about these topics, and I'll tell you a little bit about how these books come together, and hopefully it'll give you some ideas about how you might want to be able to participate as a contributor and or a sponsor. So next slide. So real quickly, what is an ebook? So in these pieces, we try to give an overview of the industry. We really try to focus on some interesting data and fact points that might not be commonly known. We really are trying to inform and inspire here. So we're trying to find maybe the unusual or super interesting. And really at the end of the day, the table of contents and the content in these ebooks is really meant to spark intellectual curiosity. We certainly hope it does that and gives students some thoughts about maybe some STEM-fueled learning pathways or career pathways that they might be able to pursue. And then finally, we always include a little bit of advice for getting there. And even if possible, some personal profiles of people who have actually gone down these paths with great success as inspiration. Next slide. We do try to keep a breadth versus depth of industry topics and terms. So, as we work with our collaborators, we try to make this a pretty easy lift. Again, just trying to spark that intellectual curiosity. So we're covering a lot of material, but we're not going too in depth on any one topic. So that at the end of the experience, the reader really has a really good idea of a specific industry, sector, or a career pathway that they might want to be able to pursue. And you can see by the quote here, we've had really good feedback from all types of groups that have downloaded the ebooks, from nonprofit organizations to post-secondary institutions to K through 12. So we're really, really pleased, not only with the lack of the collaboration we've had with our STEMconnector partners, but also the feedback and input that we've had from the people, the educators and students who have downloaded the products themselves. Next. Our primary audience is K through 12 and post-secondary students, and then educators and STEM-fueled organizations of all kinds. You'll see a quote here, another quote here about using these marketing materials to really bring in the classroom, to have some conversation around. This particular one was in reference to our food and ag book, which we were really excited about. That was the first one we released last year. Next slide. Format on these is digital PDF, easily shared, it's downloaded. If you contribute to an ebook, you can have the asset to use as well on your own social media or website. Very, very flexible format. We have multiple sponsorship opportunities you can talk to your client engagement or client services representative about. And also last year we had some requests for customization opportunities, and we were able to fulfill those requests as well. So people were able to use this content, really use it to elevate and amplify their own brand within the context of the books, which was super, super exciting. Next. Again, very, very positive feedback of all the people who've downloaded the ebooks. They come back for more. So as we go through time, we're really building a nice little group or audience for these content pieces. So we hope that that continues, and we certainly hope that our readership is really excited about the content that we're going to release this year. And then last but not least, ebook distribution. So we do we've built over the past year a great social media and audience for all of our amplification, not only for STEMconnector and Million Women Mentors, but for our partners as well. We are leveraging that for these ebooks. So we're really trying to get the word out. So if you do collaborate or contribute to one of the ebooks, we work very, very hard to make sure that that content is getting into educators and students alike, so that the content gets consumed and hopefully goes to work to engage and inspire. And I just want to say we're very excited to announce that this year we plan on expanding our distribution by working with some of our partners who are also reaching similar audiences. So I'm really excited to know that these ebooks are going to be even received by a much wider audience than they were last year. So growing and expanding and really making the most of this program as we move into 2022. Next. So just a little shout out, if you're interested, we'd love to talk to you about contributing. Contact your client service representatives. We've got some dates here just to kind of give you some sense for, when we would need to receive your confirmation of interest that you'd like to pursue or have a conversation with some of these topics. But please do reach out. We love working with you all on these books. They're a lot of fun. And we just think that they're really, starting to make a difference. And that's the whole idea. If we can make a difference in the lives of some students and get them on a STEM pathway, we are thrilled and excited that we're making a difference and contributing to the future STEM workforce. So give us a shout if you're interested. Okay, so moving on to some of the other channels and opportunities we have for partners to get involved with our marketing capabilities. Social media, just want to do a quick little shout out. In this past year, we were able to partner with a lot of you to get your messages out. Again, some examples, we had some great programs with Olay. We did some amazing work with the Society of Science to get some of their opportunities out there into audiences that really needed to get the word. So please don't forget that we do have a social media platform that is awesome for amplifying your brand, or really just shining a light on maybe some events or opportunities, things that are going on within your organization. A tremendous resource for you to leverage. Next. Also, don't forget about STEM Daily. So we are serving STEM Daily daily to over 10,000 STEM connected professionals. Again, it's another really great opportunity, super easy to get involved with that. Just send us your news and we're happy to get it out and include it in STEM Daily. And then finally, just wanted to also kind of let everybody know, as we've been building out the capabilities of the marketing and operations team over the last year, I think Ted alluded a little bit to this in his presentation. We've really built, a competency at STEMconnector around marketing, but then also marketing execution. And I think it's really awesome and exciting to think about how we can partner with you all in the future to really leverage those capabilities. We had some amazing programs that we did last year that really were more than just marketing. It was an opportunity for the team to work with our partners to pull together webinars and engage audiences and create these amazing mentoring moments. So, whatever it is that might have been on your list of things for 2022, if you need a little help getting those projects across the finish line, please give us a shout. We are excited to participate in those and certainly can offer a lot in terms of marketing and marketing execution to really bring those programs to life. And now I want to move on to Million Women Mentors and give you an update on where we're headed in 2022. And actually, I couldn't be more excited about this. And I really feel bad that my colleague Amy is not feeling well today, because I feel like I'm stealing a bit of her thunder on this one. We've been working very closely to figure out where we take Million Women Mentors in 2022. And I know she's just as excited about this as I am. So Amy, I know you're here, and this is all about you, my friend, as well, as we are going to work together to make this happen. So super excited. So moving forward in 2022, we are going to, build on the success of the program that we've had in the past and all the amazing people who contribute to the success of Million Women Mentors over the years, the companies, the state's initiatives, the volunteers, everyone, just, what an amazing group of people. So we really want to build on that. We are launching a national campaign, which we are calling 2022 Million Women Mentors Momentum, to really, launch this brand that really has become kind of an iconic brand in the position of championing women and girls in STEM. And we couldn't be more proud of that and more thankful for all the people who've participated and gotten us here. So next year, we will be launching a national campaign, more details to come over the coming months. But this campaign will really be anchored around, increasing research and awareness around the impact that COVID-19 has had on women in STEM in the workplace. We really aim to grow the movement with what we're calling MWM ambassadors. And we hope to achieve 1 million ambassadors over the next 2 years to really spread the word and amplify and get attention and awareness to this important movement. Next slide. In addition, some key activities and events that are on the calendar for MWM in 2022. monthly webinar series, which is super exciting. We're really looking forward to a lot of engagement and ongoing conversation that series will drive. Also continued work by the amazing Women in Insurance group with their Driving Change initiative. Too many really amazing things going on with that initiative for me to talk about right now, but they are really digging into the data and going to release an update to some of their research that they've delivered in the past, but there's some amazing things going on there. Annual summit in October is what we have planned to reconvene as a larger group. And then finally, we hope to build the community for momentum with our technology and Atlas platform. More to come on that, but we are really excited about having a format and a platform for really aggregating many people to champion this initiative. And don't forget to stay engaged this year. Connect with your client engagement team, leverage the communications platform that I just talked about, utilize the research that's available to you to inform your decision-making. Contribute to the research projects. There's a lot of cool projects that we have planned this year that Cindy just took you through. And finally, lots of opportunity to get involved with webinars and thought leadership. Honestly, I am so excited about Million Women Mentors in 2022 and all the cool things we're going to do with all of you and STEMconnector. And it's going to be a great year. So thank you for your time. And now I'm going to pass it over to our fearless leader, Dr. Jo Weber, to talk about Atlas.
Well, brilliant. Thank you so much, CW, for that great walk through all those ebooks. You can tell CW is in marketing because the quality of her slides are just excellent as well. So thank you for that. The ebooks were really a new thing for us last year, and they were so well received. Somebody is asking about what is our readership. I know it grew throughout the year. I can't give you the numbers, but I'm sure we can, CW and the team can give you some numbers on the absolute readership. It was distributed to many schools, many universities, many colleges. And, one of the things I think CW touched on then is a lot of times people don't even, the kids coming through don't even have a clue about some of the jobs that exist in STEM. Early last year, we took NASA in front of thousands of students, K through 12 students. It was just after the very exciting landing of the rover on Mars. I think that was a journey of about 270 million miles, which is just incredible. Just after that, we worked with NASA and put them in front of several thousand students. Now, I think people always think, particularly young students, they just think astronaut, right? Astronaut, which is what I think when I think NASA. But obviously, there's many other jobs there. And we had a couple of female scientists from NASA that were fabulous. And one of them was working on the backpack systems that go on the back of the astronauts, whether they're outside the International Space Station or on the moon or potentially on Mars. And after one of the sessions, where we had about 250 kids on Zoom because it was 2021, one of the teachers called me and said, I'm not sure how many positions NASA has available, but I've got 300 kids that all want to work on the backpack systems. And I think creating that visibility into the career opportunities and the pathways is just so important. And that leads me on to talk a bit about Atlas and what we're trying to do with Atlas. So can you move me on to the next slide, please, here? Okay, so that's just like a fancy slide where you can see we've got a logo. So thanks. So this is Atlas. It's coming up for release in March of this year. And you can see as I'm moving around the map of America, I can see various companies. I can look at jobs. I can look at posts. Maybe there's some job fairs or other opportunities going on. And really, it's a glorious map of opportunities. There's at the top there with the search bar, you can really search for anything, data scientist, engineer, whatever I'm interested in. And using the filters in the system, you can, as a student, you can look, is this an internship? Is it working hours? Is it a full-time job? We've also got we've started to look at, so many jobs are now allowing a certain percentage of time to be remote. So we're also factoring that in. This is, as you can see, this is a version of where we are right now. In this one, somebody put in space. I put in space. I found there were 2 jobs in space. I can now see more information about that job. And if the company has recorded a video here, I can get internship in this case, I can get more information. Now, this could be a day in the life video. It could be a message from the hiring manager. So it really allows to bring the job opportunity to life. And over the years, I've hired and worked on hiring of hundreds, maybe thousands of individuals. And I would have loved to have had a tool like this, where I could really put out what we were looking for in that role. So this to me is very exciting. Now, there's a button there, record introduction. This allows a student to return the favor. So now the student can record a short 15-30-second video explaining why they're interested in that job. And I think we've all seen where I've seen it where I've had a job application. I'll have maybe 200 resumes come in, and I'm reading through the resumes, and a lot of them clearly hadn't read the job, what we were looking for in the job. They hadn't even read the description. And then I get some that I think are really interesting, and I interview people, and they're just not a fit. They maybe were extending what they really could do on the resume, but very clearly I realize they're not a fit. And I think what this allows us to do is hopefully the students think about this a bit more before they apply. They get a bit more information about the opportunity. And then when they apply, the company gets to see them, gets to see how they can present. So we are working on a HR center that allows the connection of the candidates, and it will allow you to go in and review multiple candidates, look at multiple introduction videos. The introduction videos, it's kind of like the new, back in the day, I went out with a letter of introduction from my professors. All of that is available now in Atlas. Professors, individuals can give references on people and candidates. And then in the HR center, you can kind of look at a candidate, you can look at how they present themselves and what they say about themselves, and also what other people are, other references that they've given. Okay, can you move me on to the next slide, please? Thanks. Now, clearly with this, we're trying to meet this next generation, Gen Z, of where they are. Next slide, please. And, with this generation coming through in the workforce, they're very comfortable with communication via mobile devices. They've really grown up, I think last generation or millennials were the digital generation. They grew up with the internet always being there. Gen Z is very much the mobile generation. They've grown up with seeing the use of the mobile device for so many things, covering so many areas. They're very comfortable with video. So the idea maybe 20 years ago of somebody giving a video introduction would have been very scary. But I think now everybody is much more comfortable with video, and particularly this generation. So this, gives them the ability to easily discover jobs and internships everywhere. We know that many colleges, HBCUs in particular, are in very rural areas and the jobs aren't there. So this gives the students the ability to scan around and look for internships, jobs all over the map. It gives them the ability to view and interact with the companies. They can also share and refer opportunities to friends. So if they see an opportunity that's not for them, but they think a friend of theirs would like it, they can easily share that. Likewise, for career development centers at universities, they have the ability to use this tool to discover jobs and internships and other opportunities, and then refer them to students or to departments within a university. And lastly, we make it very easy for people to apply and tell their story. Okay, next slide, please. So with this technology, this will be available in March of this year. It will be both the web application that you've seen and also the mobile. The mobile is going to be available on both iOS and Android platforms. And we think of it a bit like Zillow for jobs. It's supposed to be a very easy to use, very accessible framework where you can get in and quickly see the opportunities that are around you. And we think this helps really level the playing field, putting the opportunities out there for everybody to see and be able to apply for. Okay, next slide, please. So these are, this is a launch plans. We are, the mobile app is really open to anybody. If you go to apply for a job though, we want you to create a profile. This is a free to use application for anybody applying for a job. The jobs themselves, you can put jobs on this. If you're a STEMconnector member, you can put jobs into the system. We also have the ability to take jobs from your website that you might have entry-level positions or student positions, and put those, and internships in particular, and put them out there for everybody to see. If you're interested in being part of this and the innovator group testing and giving us some feedback, please let us know by contacting Ted or Amy. And I think this will be starting to take place late January, early February of this year. So we're pretty close to opening up and looking for more feedback here. Okay, next slide, please. Now, one of the things, as we were developing Atlas, it became apparent that some of the features in Atlas were actually useful for companies in terms of being able to run community management and community engagement programs. So we've created a white label multi-tenant variant of, or shouldn't use variant, version of Atlas. And this provides a framework for community and company engagement programs. If you can see the screen here, this is an example from Corteva. The first programs are actually coming online pretty soon this year with Atlas Connector, starting with Olay and Corteva. They're both running engagement programs designed to showcase STEM career options to the potential STEM majors of the future. Corteva's program is designed for high school students in the US and internationally, and it's going to provide an engaging platform for the students to explore and learn about sustainable agriculture and the career options that exist in food and agriculture. On this screen here, you can see there's a series of different topics as we go down. We call these channels: edible soil, farming, sustainability. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to create content in that channel and allow people to access the content. The content can really be pretty much anything. It can be a survey, it can be video, so it can be interactive, or it can be putting information out there. And you have the ability to edit posts, to put comments out there, and really create community discussion and community engagement around various topics. Olay's programs are also coming online actually in February, and their first program is designed to really inspire high school girls to continue on STEM pathways. This is such an important thing. We know that a lot of high school girls get to 14, 15, 16 and drop out. And, when you look working with Olay, they have an amazing group of female scientists, a lot of formulation scientists, and really putting that out and letting the high school girls of today see, look, these are some of the career opportunities. And these are some women that have pursued careers in formulation science in particular. So this will feature female scientists from within Olay and also from within some STEMconnector partner companies. CW also mentioned another Atlas Connector version that's coming out a little bit later this year, and that's MWM. One of the beautiful things about Atlas Connector is it's global in its nature, so people can be anywhere in the world using this technology framework. The topics can be controlled depending on which group. So this, we feel, gives us a really good way of bringing together the global, national and global MWM community. So more to come on that. And with that, I'd like to thank you for your time, and I am going to turn over to Ted.
Thanks, Joe. I'm just looking out to see what our Q&A looks like. It looks like Amy has answered some of the questions out there. If you do have questions, you can either raise your hand, we can look for you. You can also type them into the chat box. So I'll give it a little bit of time. I think we've done a pretty thorough job. I'm really excited about all these opportunities for engagement this year, including Atlas, also the ebooks, and the programming that we are working on through our events program and Million Women Mentors. So I do see a question, a couple here. We offer a virtual option to attend the in-person events? Kathy, thank you. That's a great question. I know there's a lot of concerns, obviously, around the issue of safety. Also, I know a lot of budgets for travel have been cleaned out in the years past, and there's a higher level of scrutiny on events. In the past, the answer would have been no, but we are investigating how to provide a virtual option. Obviously, for things like the networking reception and the dinner and those kind of things, or the site visit, those are hard to experience virtually. But the programming during the key core programming probably will be something that we look at doing. Let's see, what are the goals you'd like MWM leaders to focus on this year? Looks like Amy is answering that. I think that we feel very strongly that the Million Women Mentors Summit has been a terrific opportunity historically for engagement with the network, and we are definitely hoping to see that return this year. I do see, could we get a one-pager for 2022 events? Yes, I did have that briefly on the slide. So on one of the slides earlier, we are working on the calendar. The challenge right now is dates, specific dates, just based on the uncertainty that Omicron has presented. But I do hope we will have some firm dates. We do have sort of ranges that we can share with you at this point. Anything else? Looking at the Q&A. Looks like Amy is answering the MWM question. Thanks, Jason. Yeah. Just as a one overview, quick sort of guidelines on how many people can you send. For the innovation labs, we kind of look at 1 to 2 representatives per organization, and happy to think through in a one-off conversation around who would be right from your organization to participate. Sometimes for employers, if we have somebody who's focused on community engagement and increasingly on equity and access, those folks will look at the K-12 lab because they're making investments in that space. And then folks who are making investments from DE&I perhaps, or from HR into post-secondary institutions will come to our post-secondary lab. And increasing that workforce development piece is something that different types of stakeholders and companies are. So we can help. For innovation labs, we sort of the general guideline is 1 to 2 representatives per organization. For the summit, up to 5 usually is fine. And we're also happy to discuss what those might look like. Any others? We will be releasing, I see, yes, from Ingrid. That's a great question, Ingrid. Will you be sharing more about the white label uses of Atlas at a later date? Yes, indeed. We will be definitely sharing. I think there will be opportunities, Joe, right, for engagement with white label uses.
Absolutely. We've got like so much today is short form content. So we've created like a 2-pager on Atlas Connector that kind of talks a bit about how it can be used. So, I think happy to probably put those on the website, right? Think, Ted, or would you and Amy want to distribute?
Yeah, we can, let's talk about that, figure out what the best opportunity is. Yeah. Amy responded to the focus question for MWM leaders. We want to make MWM timely and relevant. So this year we'll be focusing on the impact of COVID-19 on women in STEM and how that has negatively impacted our efforts over the past 6 years. As such, this year we'll be working towards building momentum to grow an ambassador network of 1 million ambassadors for women in STEM over the next 3 years. Great. And again, if you are interested in testing the Atlas platform, please reach out to Amy or myself, whomever you work with. Also, you'll see Hannah Jo Warwick and Kate Groves names will be reaching out to you. So don't add them to your spam filters. They're often coming with important messages and are very competent in fielding requests and setting up opportunities to engage with our team. Great. Just looking to see if there's anything else. Yeah, and if there is an issue that you are interested in, talking about, or us looking into, please reach out to us, and we're happy to look at how we might amplify that through our social networks, or just provide you with, looking into it from a research perspective or grant opportunities to collaborate. We're open to discussions, and look forward to working with you this year. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today, and we look forward to a big year ahead. Please reach out to us with any questions, and we will, I do see, and we will, can you put emails in the chat? We'll be following up with contact info for folks. So thank you so much again for joining us, and we will talk soon.